What's new in financial reporting in Business Central 2025 Release Wave 1 for administrators? In this wave, you get 2 new features, and then I'm going to show you some new documentation for auditing. So you get telemetry on usage and lifecycle changes to definitions. You get the same in Microsoft Purview. I don't have a demo for it. I'll just mention that here. And then there's some new documentation, as I said, on how to set up audit changes to report definitions with changelog, and also how to set up permissions both for authoring and for using financial reports. So let's dive into Business Central and see that. So imagine you have a finance user and a user that use financial reporting all the time. There are 2 types of users here. One type of user we call the author. The author can likely edit report row, column definitions, and similarly do actions such as copying, exporting, importing, both for row report definitions, but also for row definitions and column definitions. So in order for you to track, if you have requirements where it's important that you track changes to report definitions, we now have the ability to see this in telemetry for the environment. And similarly, not only for the author, but also for users of financial reports. Whenever users view a report, or they print a report to PDF, or if they open a report with an Excel layout, all of this is also logged. So all the usage of financial reports are also logged to telemetry, so you can see who ran which reports, and with the author you can see who changed which report definitions when. So let's dive into to see that in just a few examples in Azure Application Insights. All right, so here in Application Insights, let me just try to query the last 30 days of traces where the message has financial in the name. There are, of course, real event IDs that you can use, so you should never just use the message as I do it for illustration purposes. I'm just doing that. And here you can see some of the different types of events that I talked about when I was in Business Central. For instance, I can see that a certain financial report was run on screen, and this is the code, Russ Vaha, whatever that report is. We also get some lifecycle telemetry here of a report being created, some different reports being created. These are the report definition codes. And similarly, report column definitions were created here. If I expand this a bit, you can see the code of these. So that means that you in telemetry now have, depending on your retention policy of telemetry, you have events that show both the usage of financial reports as well as changes to financial reports. So that was the telemetry part. Now, the similar type of events will eventually surface in Microsoft Purview. Business Central in data in Microsoft Purview is currently in preview, but these changes to financial reports definitions will also appear in your Microsoft Purview instance. Then I mentioned 2 things about being able to track with changelog. That's new new documentation. So let's switch to the Business Central documentation for financial report, and I'll show you the new documentation. So here in Microsoft Learn, there's a new article for auditing, and I'll just simply search for audit here, and immediately I get the first search result, audit changes to financial reporting. Let's have a look. So this new article tells you as an administrator, what are the report definition tables, what are the tables behind report row and column definitions. And these are the table numbers that you need to set up changelog for financial report definition changes. I'm not going to demo the changelog feature here. I'm sure you can do that. If you want even more security around or auditing around your financial report definitions, you can use the deluxe version of changelog, which is called sensitive field monitoring. So if you set up that, you will both get changelog, but you also have the ability to get email notifications if someone changes a value for that. Another thing this article shows is how to analyze your changes to financial report definitions with the data analysis feature. And let me just quickly show you that. If you take the changelog page into analysis mode, you now have a way to pivot this data, either which definition changed or the other way around, who changed what and when. So you can either put yourself in the context of a user changing and see what did Kenny change, or you can go in and see who has been working on the report definitions for the income statement. The final part of this documentation is what are the permissions to view or edit reports. You might know, but now this is also part of the financial reporting documentation, so you can easily see the permission sets either for viewing or editing financial reports. Now, while we are in docs or in the documentation, 2 new articles I think might be of interest for you as an administrator. The first article is about troubleshooting financial reporting in case you need to help an author. There's some guidance here, so maybe it doesn't work, and maybe there are some advice here that can help that author get unblocked. And finally, we added also an FAQ, a frequently asked question page for financial reporting, with at least the most recently frequent questions we get on the feature, and maybe this can also be of help for you to unblock the authors among your users. So that's what we have for the administrator in financial reporting.